Hello everybody, my name is Jad. We're going to another MLB 9 video. In today's video, we've got packs combos. It's the beginning of the month. Welcome to December, everybody. It's time for a couple of signature packs. I have one from the event, which was a special signature pack. I've got one from, I believe there's going to be like a 3,000 star one, which is every month, and then one from the club shop. So we've got some signatures to go through today. Hopefully, finally, we pull another Yankee. I say that, but it's been kind of a while, so we'll see what we can do. And I hope everybody out there had a good Thanksgiving. I mean, I had a great Thanksgiving with my family. It was a great time. Now we have to work towards the inevitable March. I couldn't believe it's already the end of the year, man. Like, the year has just gone so fast. I mean, we said at the beginning of the baseball season, it just kind of felt like that went fast. This whole year just kind of went fast. I don't know where the time went. So, anyway, let's get into today's video by doing the daily pack, and then we're going to go open up a ton of packs. Because I recorded last week's video on a Tuesday, basically, I was a day late because I wasn't feeling well, means that we're going to have a million premium player packs, because usually every week what I do is I combine them into team select packs, but I can't do that because it's my timer's up tomorrow to do that, so I can't do that today. I wish this would just like give it to me in my inventory, just give me like a signature pack in my inventory so I could actually open it later, but unfortunately I don't have that choice. Alright, so it's a vintage. It's a Dodger. Is it the... Oh. I don't know who this is. It's a reliever. I'm trying to think of, like, the relief pitchers in Rivals, because I know them better than I know the relief pitchers in this game. Because I play manual a lot more in Rivals than I play in this game. There's like a pitcher in the Dodgers. I don't know. I don't know who this could be. Yeah, I don't know who. I don't know who this man is. I was gonna make a really dumb guess, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. This doesn't, I don't know who this person is, and obviously, so I do not know who this man is. No, don't release McCutcheon. I want to log McCutcheon. Don't know if we're gonna have the stars. Well, I have to guess we'll have the stars to do a combo. Ah, well, we'll set that for later. So we had some actual MLB things go down this week. We had a couple notable signings, which I kind of was not expecting, and we have our very first qualifying offer of the year. Now, it didn't really dawn on me at first, but I wanted to just double check and make sure that this is actually correct, that I read what I read, and that I'm not being, like, sports pickled. Okay, yes, I just wanted to make sure that I read that correctly, that I'm not losing my mind out here. So, really quickly, let's start opening up the packs first, and then we'll get into it. So, it was the fact that Dylan Cease signed a 7-year, $210 million contract with the Blue Jays, which I know some people were kind of thinking, like, that's crazy, that's a lot of money, and a long-term deal for a guy that's kind of had a couple bad years recently. But I don't know, like, it's weird because his peripherals haven't fallen off. Like, he hasn't become a worse pitcher, but he's just had really bad luck last year. There's a prime. Seth Lugo, and a vintage too. Like, he just had really bad luck last year for, like, a Padres team that didn't defend very well. And we'll see what happens with him. He still strikes out a ton of people and doesn't give up a lot of home runs, so we'll see what he can do with the Blue Jays next year. I mean, the fact that he doesn't give up home runs is extremely good for the fact he's going to be playing in a ballpark with small ballparks, essentially. But the ramifications of the deal was necessarily the fact that he had a qualifying offer attributed to him, which was kind of the reason why I was surprised that he went now. I said this in the last video, too, with deals being made before the winter meetings. I can't believe that deals are being done right away. Maybe teams saw what happened last year in terms of the fact that they signed people late and they weren't really ready for the beginning of the season. So they wanted to get it done now and get it out of the way, and that didn't have to really fight over people later on in the season. Maybe that's like a factor here. I really don't know. But it's really weird that there are like so many deals going on before winter meetings, especially that's usually when teams kind of get an idea of what each other want to do and the kind of who's going to be going after which free agents and kind of the team's needs and kind of their idea, their modus operandi. But it seems like these teams are just kind of like right out of the gate just saying, okay, no, we're going to sign you right now because We do not want to wait around. I tend to agree with the philosophy that you want to get the pitchers signed before they begin their off-season programs, before you go in spring training, because as we've seen recently, these pitchers will go into spring training not ready because they don't think they've got a contract, and next thing you know, they're missing like the beginning of the season, or they're getting hurt early. It's just a mess. So I think it's good for them to sign them like really soon. The bad is obviously can wait a lot longer, but no qualifying offer. Like, so now the Blue Jays are either going to have to. I had to read this in the rule book, and it was a complete mess. So, not only it was like I don't even want to quote the rule of the qualifying offer, but you lose some draft pick. I originally thought it was like a first round draft pick, but it's like it's a first round draft pick, and I think it's like if you have like luxury tax implications, you lose like your second round pick, like your second overall pick, or you lose like bonus pool money, and it's a complete mess. So like the rules are written in such a crazy way that they just don't make any sense to people who are just not having to deal with it. But the Blue Jays will have to give up something in terms of compensation for signing Dylan Cease to a 7-year contract. That's really the point I'm trying to make here, is the fact that it completely, like, my brain has been so wired on Gleyber Torres being given a qualifying offer, and the fact that a record number of players actually took the qualifying offer. It was Gleyber Torres' qualifying offer. Of course, as soon as I talk about Gleyber Torres, we pull a Gleyber Torres card, because why not? But it was Gleyber Torres, and then it was also Trent Grisham getting the qualifying offer, which was really like the big weird things of the offseason. It's like Edwin Diaz getting a qualifying offer. You're like, okay, that's... There was like the obvious people who were going to get a qualifying offer that we were just, But it was weird to me that those 4 people getting a qualifying offer, 4 people accepting a qualifying offer is the most we've ever seen. That is unheard of. And then also the Orioles signed Ryan Helsley. Now, my original thought to that was, wow, that's really weird. Why would the Orioles sign a closer when they already have a closer? That's just really weird. I don't know why they would do that. And then somebody reminded me that Ryan Helsley is trying to go the Clay Holmes route, which is that they are trying to take Ryan Helsley and make him... He wanted to be a starting pitcher this season, which was very bizarre. I'm not saying bizarre in terms of, obviously, he wanted the money, but you want to be a starting pitcher after having arguably a completely Jekyll and Hyde season last season. Like, not only did he have an absolutely horrific time with the Mets, pitching to, I think, a 7 ERA with the Mets, and a 4 ERA overall, but the rumor was that he was tipping pitches the entirety of the time that he was there. I don't know how much truth is behind that. I'm no expert in the field, unfortunately. I just look at the video. It would make sense to me that that's how you could explain somebody completely falling off the wagon like he did, is the fact that he's tipping pitches. But, I mean, you think back to all the time he spent with the Cardinals. He's had 40 save seasons, which has been incredible. My original thought was the fact that he was going to be closing games for them, but despite that fact that you've also got Felix Bautista coming back off an injury this year, so I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, so maybe he'll be a setup guy. And then I had the thought of, somebody told me, oh yeah, by the way, he wanted to be a starter this year. So then that thought went completely out the window. It's like I bashed the Clay Holmes thing last year, and I was like, yeah, okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So he wasn't really a great relief pitcher. He seemed to be kind of a guy that was a ground ball pitcher that would kind of walk too many people. And to me, that seemed like that was a recipe for disaster, because for a starting pitcher, if you start walking people and you get out of your rhythm, then you're cooked. If you're a reliever, you have a couple bad... You walk a guy or two. That was a Aroldis Chapman experience for years. It's like you walk a guy or two, and then you just lock in, and then you just shut the inning down, and you're done. You don't have to really worry about the ramifications of it. You don't care about your pitch count. You're only throwing 30 pitches at the maximum. You're only going to be facing maybe 5 batters in a true perfect world, like, you're not really going to really care too much if you walk somebody. Maybe you're a ground ball pitcher. Maybe you just get him to hit a ball straight at somebody into a double play because that's what you excel at. You put the ball on the ground. But it's like, you go look at the video footage of Ryan Helsley. It's like he's throwing 100 miles an hour. Like, that's really the thing that makes him separate than everybody else. It's kind of like if you think about, who was that other guy that was on the Cardinals? Oh, he went to the Giants. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. I'm literally blanking right now, and I'm just like losing my mind. Hold on a second. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. I don't know why I can't think about who this is. No, it's not Ryan Helsley. Stop. I'm Googling it. Jordan Hicks. Thank you. Oh, my God. I looked up, like, MLB pitcher 105 Cardinals, and it's like, yeah, Ryan Helsley. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Jordan Hicks, you idiot. It's, like, so stupid. I'm looking for Jordan Hicks because you think about the fact that Jordan Hicks had to reduce his overall fastball velocity to kind of become a regular starter because you need to get into a rhythm. You can't be throwing 105 miles an hour the entire time. And he is arguably a less effective pitcher at a lower velocity because batters no longer really need to worry about the fact that 101 plus is coming at them every 5 pitches. It's a much more manageable velocity. And I've said this in the past that MLB batters nowadays they just do not care. If you have a high velo fastball, if it's straight, they'll hit it. Like, they do not care about fastball velo at all. So I used to think that's a huge factor for your off-speed stuff. But if you're throwing 105 and it's straight, they don't care. They'll find a way to put it into play, and we've seen that happen before. It's like you need to have the overall very good secondary stuff like Mason Miller has in order to really be effective. Or Chapman. Chapman has really good secondary stuff as well. Like, I originally thought that he did not have good secondary stuff, and then now he's got that absolutely just disgusting split finger fastball. Kind of like John Duran has. But we'll see. It's weird. The contract structure was weird. It's a 1-year deal. It's a 2-year deal with a team option for the second year, which is very weird. It's a very weird deal considering the fact that there's other pitchers out there you can move for, like I mentioned them in the past. Dylan Cease was obviously one. You could maybe sign him for a long-term deal, but you have to give up a draft pick, obviously. I don't know. It was very weird. I will say that like a million times. It's very weird. All the luck to him. Hopefully he follows the Clay Holmes route and he has a really solid year. I remember I had to eat my words on that. I talked so much trash about Clay Holmes being a starter. I'm like, oh, it was never going to work out. And then, he pitched pretty well, to be honest with you. Overall, he was kind of one of the bright spots on the Mets this year. The fact that he could actually be a consistent starter for them. And pitched like a pretty decent ERA, in my opinion. Obviously, he has blow-ups. Who doesn't? Everyone does, unless you're a Cy Young Award winner. Team select Diamondback. And then we also had the news that Anthony Rendon is going to be, or the Angels and Anthony Rendon are going to be looking for a way to basically pay off his last year of his contract, and then he's going to retire. Even though I'd argue with the fact that he's basically been retired for years at this point. I mean, truly an incredible contract. It's just so sad the way it all worked out because after the year he came off of with Washington, at winning 100-something RBIs, winning a World Series ring. You pair him with Trout and Ohtani, you're just like, oh man, this is going to be a crazy team. And then he was just constantly injured, never played. Honestly, a real shame, in my opinion. I kind of want to see him play. He played like 50 games a year for 5 years. Didn't play last year at all. And then now this year, he's not going to play because they're gonna pay out his contract. That looks distinctively like Aaron Judge. All right, special signature pack. Be pretty cool if we got a Yankee. Can I do this? That looks... What is that? High location? I can't think of a high location Cardinals pitcher. I can't think of a high... What, DeGrom, maybe? I have no idea. Jose Leclerc. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Miles Mikolas. Yeah. We'll take the gold just because it'll save me a GI. There isn't really any other reason to take anybody else there. I was saying to myself, like, did the Grom have like a shortened season? Is that why they gave him like low stamina, maybe? But no, it was Miles Mikolas apparently. We got a vintage Astro. He's a relief pitcher with a good fastball. Is he the guy that throws the splitter? I can't think about his name right now. I don't know. Dan Jones? Is that Dan? Is that who I'm thinking of? Like, the guy who we make fun of for being Daniel Jones? Doug Jones. Okay, no, Doug Jones. I saw the D, and I'm like, D Jones. That sounds oddly familiar. Like Daniel Jones? Of the ex-Giants persuasion? Of the now Colts playing with a broken fibula persuasion? Mayhaps. Let's release the lock on Kutch. Let's combine these dudes real quickly. Oh, we got a lot of silvers to go through. Good lord. Nolan Arenado. The man, the myth, the legend. The future Hall of Famer, Nolan Arenado. Kendall Graveman. Free agent Valdez. Now, that's another one the Orioles could have gone after, speaking about the Orioles. You know, if you don't care about locker room presence, Framber Valdez is a free agent, so. Maybe you look for him. I heard the Mets were interested in him. I think that's a horrible assignment. I mean, there was like a report that came out over the weekend about more of the Mets locker rooms stuff coming out. It all sounds pretty bad. But, you know, to quote Kevin Durant, I was like talking with a friend about this the other day too, is the famous Kevin Durant quote when I believe it was the Olympics, when I believe the French team was talking about how that they were going to beat the American team because they play with each other all the time and they've got chemistry. And then Kevin Durant says, I don't care about chemistry, you still have to guard Steph. And he's kind of right, you know? So, you know, the only time you ever hear about chemistry is when it's bad chemistry. And right now, unfortunately, I'm hearing about bad chemistry coming out of that locker room. And I feel like Framber Valdez is not a good locker room guy. As evidenced by the fact that he decided to throw at his catcher for trying to get him to step off and then gives up a grand slam to the guy who we just talked about getting the qualifying offer, the big sleep Trent Grisham. Also, Michael King is available too. Like, if you really want a starting pitcher, you know, I was kind of hoping the Yankees would go pick him up as a relief pitcher, but if you really want to, like, you could pick up Michael King as a guy that's, I believe did he get a qualifying offer too? Like, why do I think that he got a qualifying offer? My brain says he got a qualifying offer. You could go pick up Michael King as a starting pitcher if you really wanted to. Like, he's on the market. Just weird. I mean, yeah, they got a cost-controlled guy that's, like, got a ton of upside if it goes right. Like, let's be real here. You're paying him not much money. I think it's like a 2-year, $14 million a year contract. Like, you're not paying him a lot of money, but... So the upside is great. So you got great downside protection, but... I'd probably want the best player possible, and I just don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know. There's a lot of options out there, but... Really weird. Really, really weird. I can't really imagine Ryan Helsley as a starting pitcher, personally. But I guess we'll see if it works out or not. It's not up to me. If it works... I'm a Yankee fan. I'm hoping it doesn't work out, and that he just is like a mediocre starter, and we can just shell him every single time, personally. I hope it doesn't work out. But for the sake of Baltimore as an organization, I hope it works out for them. But if it doesn't work out, and I'm not going to cry for them, I'm just going to be like, well, that's what you get for trying to be fancy. That's what you get for trying to beat the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm sorry. All right, 8 of our finest premium skill change tickets to go through today. I believe that's everything that's happened in the major leagues this year so far? This week. Those are the words. Okay. Come on, give me this one legend skill here. Please? If I ask nicely, would you do that for me? Apparently, no. Not having it today. That'd have been a pretty solid set. Oh, man. What are legend skills? It's been an extremely rough ride trying to land legend skills. I want to see how many trainers we have in the inventory because I kind of want to make sure that I'm not going to just run out of trainer reserve space here. Okay, we cleared some space last time. We have a couple premium trainers to use here today. Nice, I got a green out of it. Unfortunately, I don't have a set to use the green on right now. Okay, so 3 premium skill trainer recruit tickets, a premium trainer recruit ticket, which we'll use that one first. Great, gold pickoff expert, thank you so much. I don't think I even have Slugger Instinct on anybody. Alright, praying for a diamond, but we all know how that works. Yeah, that's about right. Unfortunate, but that's going to be the way it goes. But I think that's going to be everything for today. It's unfortunate that we just don't have that much stuff to do right now. I need to use some of my points up, but that is going to be it for today in today's video. I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully we can start pulling some of these legend skills, man, because it's just, like, really bad. I would hope that they'd, like, find a way to increase the rate of you pulling legend skills, because it is a horrible system right now for me. It's just been really, really dry for the last couple of months. I don't know what else to do, man. So, anyway, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, good luck with your packs, your pulls, your combos, and hopefully we get some more drama before the free agency period really ramps up after the GM meetings. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.